Welcome to Weeping Willow Homestead. Today I have July's garden tour for you. I'm just barely squeaking this in. It is the last day of July. My intention was to get it done last week, but since all of us were sick, it kind of got put on the back burner to film this. If you have not seen June's garden tour, I would recommend watching it first because I'm not going to go into detail on everything that is planted, just kind of more of an update on what we've been getting and how everything's growing. And man, everything is growing great this year, despite we have had some crazy long hot spells like into the 90s and 100s for like weeks at a time, which is not usual for the Midwest. And then we have also had long dry spells as well. But amazingly, everything is growing great. I have been able to physically handle getting out in the garden more than usual, which has been nice. I have been gone for 3 days, so I have not even looked at the garden in 3 days, so excuse it if there's some weeds and whatnot. It's not perfect by any stretch. This is not good housekeeping. This is reality. So let's take a look at what we have. This is the lettuce that bolted, and what that means is that it's just gone to seed. So each one of these little bits at the top will fuzz out and it'll be seeds, and I come out and pick as much of that as I possibly can and dry it and save it, and then I save my lettuce for next year. So we'll have plenty because there's quite a bit of it gone to seed. Let me step into the fence here so I can actually show you some of this. This is the Kohlrabi. It is in the Brassica family along with like broccoli, cabbage, those kind of things. And that's what it looks like. And we've got some pretty close to being ready. It'll get a little bit bigger than that. That's not quite baseball sized, but close. So they're doing good. We have flowers and starts on our, these are jalapenos. And then that is the ground cherry that is getting huge and taking over. It's shading out some of the jalapenos. I forgot, it's been years since I grew ground cherry and had actually one make. So I forgot how big they get. So yeah, next year I know to give it a little bit more room. This is a little, like a small golf ball sized tomato that my daughter loves. And then back there is some of the brassicas. And then obviously you can see here, this is everything from broccoli to cabbage to Brussels sprouts. And it was the seeds all got mixed. So I can tell that is going to be a Brussels sprout. These are broccoli. That's a cabbage. They got all mixed up by my sweet, beautiful toddler. And so we just went ahead and planted them all out, and I just figured I'd let them go. I have been using something new on these called BT, which is an all-natural spray that you can put on them that's supposed to keep the cabbage worms away. So these I didn't get to quite soon enough, but I have noticed a huge difference in that. So that worked out nice. And then we also have a few cabbages that I got plants for, and they are doing great, including we got two huge heads, like dinner plate sized heads of cabbage, so that was nice. Here is our bed of radishes, which has gone to seed as well. And I learned this year for the first time that these are the seed pods, and we have saved the seed pods before. You let them go until they turn brown, and then you can either plant the whole seed pod. There's 2 to 5 seeds in each one, or you can open it up and get the seeds out, which is a huge pain. But these little seed pods are edible. They kind of have a mild radish flavor. You can pickle them. I've put them on salads, just different things like that. And man, they are good. Yeah, and I don't usually like radishes all that much. So over here are our two cherry tomato plants. So this one is like a pear cherry shape, and this one is a black cherry. And they are doing good. We have some baby cherry tomatoes setting on right there. They're just not quite ready yet, but man, we're close, and I'm so excited to have fresh tomatoes. The cosmos are still just blooming like crazy and huge. They are about 5 feet tall. They're huge. So I just kind of let them go. Whatever. Over here are our pepper plants. We have snack peppers, and so let's see here. These are the snack peppers, and these are the bell peppers, and they are also setting on flowers and some small fruits. Hi, kitten. The one kitten that we have this year. So yeah, we should be getting those in a couple months max. So that's exciting because we eat a lot of peppers because it's a low-carb vegetable that I can have. We have the zinnias. These are the Thumbelina zinnias, so they're like little bitty. I'll show you Thumbelina. And then these are bachelor buttons, and I've got one flower so far on those. And then these were some cosmos that I just went ahead and left. I had planted in this section snapdragons, and they didn't make it. And then these are a mix of different zinnias, but my favorite are, I got some candy striped ones, and there's a couple of different colors in them that I just think are so pretty and so unique. Back behind the flowers are the zucchinis, and I stagger plant, so that's 2 plants there, and they are about 4 feet tall. And then there's 2 more plants, and then there's 2 more plants. And I do that. I plant 2, and then I wait 2 weeks, and then I plant 2, and then I wait 2 weeks, and I planted 2 more. And that way, we have zucchini kind of staggered. I'm playing around with different methods of preserving it. I've dehydrated it. I've canned some. I shred it and freeze it. But for the most part, we eat a lot of zucchini fresh during the summer. I add it to a lot of different dishes. So that's what we call the kitchen garden. It's our smaller of our 2 gardens. And then I'll show you progress on these hens. This is our henitentry. It's the ladies that always get out. So they are in here where they cannot get out. And then we have been having them make us new garden beds, and our yard needs mowed. Sorry, we've been gone. So I've been having them make new beds, and next year I'm planning on using this for things like carrots, garlic, radishes. I would love to do like beds of different flowers. We've talked about possibly doing some and having cut flowers that we take to the farmer's market. So my husband has to get in. We did get the old coop taken out and kind of pieced out. We kept some of it. And then my husband's going to take out that pine tree. He's getting his chainsaw fixed because, yeah, it's never that easy. So, all right, let me take you over to the other garden. All right, here's our large garden. It's about 4,000 square feet. And yeah, it's growing gangbusters as well. Hopefully the light is okay because the sun is setting. So I'm out here at like 7 o'clock at night doing this. These are our, we have, let's see here, 2, 4, 6, yeah, 12, right, 12, 2, 4, 6, yeah, 12 large tomato plants. So these are the ones that I'm going to use to can, the ones that we'll use for like tomato sandwiches, that kind of thing. And they are all huge. This one is, yeah, it's about 4 feet tall, maybe closer to 5 feet, but they're doing great. We have tomatoes setting on there. Yay, I'm so ready for some fresh tomatoes. I did a better job this year of keeping them inside the tomato cages and keeping them pruned and that kind of thing. So hopefully that means we'll have a good yield. Yeah, I'm so ready for some fresh tomatoes. These are the fences of cucumbers, and yeah, I need to get out and get them back up on the fence. They do not like to climb the fence. I have to really train them, but they are doing great as well. We have lots and lots of baby cucumbers and flowers still, and there's one fence and then kind of a half of one. These did not seed super well. I might come back out and try reseeding, or I've got some like snap pea seeds that I may come out and do those instead. I don't know. We'll see. It kind of depends on how many pickles I get from this, because I was thinking about it the other day. My kids, if I feed my kids like a pint of pickles, they'll finish a whole pint of pickles in one sitting. So if we did just 1 pint of pickles a week, it'd be 52 pints. And they would gladly eat 2 to 5 pints of pickles a week. They would gladly eat pickles every day. So I really think I'm going to try to can up a bunch of pickles this year. I did one batch already. I think I did 10 pints already, so I'm getting there, but I definitely need to come out and pick tomorrow, and then I will probably end up canning close to 20 pints tomorrow. We'll see. Our sweet corn is looking great. We have baby ears setting on, so it won't be long on those either. And my kids are ecstatic about that. They actually just had sweet corn today from another farm, but they're ecstatic about having our own sweet corn. Here we have our 3 rows of green beans. These are doing well as well. I have picked 2 5-gallon buckets off of these so far, and I definitely need to come out tomorrow and pick as well. Yeah, it's never ending. Generally, the way that I do it is I pick one day, I process it the next, then the 3rd day I clean everything up, and then the 4th day I start it all over again. So yeah, these are about 20 feet long, and no, 40 feet long, 20 feet long, I don't remember. So we've got those, and then down here, the vining plants haven't done as well, and please excuse the weeds because this end is always the end that gets neglected. Some of them are doing great. So this is all butternut squash. There's 6 hills of it. There are 4 hills of spaghetti squash, and I did lose one of those. This is a delicata, which is a different winter squash to try. That is a loofah gourd. Let me make sure I'm pointing right there. Loofah gourd right there. This is 2 watermelons. There's a cantaloupe. This is an acorn squash, and I tried transplanting it because the 2 other things that were planted down here, there was a buttercup and what was the other one? A Hubbard, I think is what it was, that I had planted down here, and neither one of them the squash beetles got to, and the other one just didn't come up. Like the seed wasn't good. So it was in the middle of those 2, and so I transplanted it down here, and it doesn't look great. It's coming back, I think. We'll see how it does. I'm hoping that it comes back. But I went ahead and transplanted that so that I had this area open, and I planted 2 more rows of late green beans. And they are coming up. I planted those probably a little less than a week ago. So you can see there's a little baby one right there. Hi, cat. Always with the cats. We have like, let's see here, 4 adult barn cats and that 1 kitten that you saw. And then we did have a litter of 4 days ago. So, we always have barn cats. They are so helpful. We never have mice because of them. And we just kind of keep a few around at all times. So, yeah, these are doing great. These are the cantaloupe, and we have flowers. I don't think I have seen any plants or any starts of fruit yet. The watermelon are the same. They take a little bit longer than some of the other things. The loofah has not even flowered yet, but if we come over here, you can see, like I said, my last video, I talked about the fact that it looked like so much space down here, and that it was so much wasted space, and there was so much room in between plants. But you can see this is all butternut and spaghetti squash, and that's just 6, 7, 8, 9 plants. But last year I got 70 butternut squash off of that number. And then I have not grown spaghetti squash before. That's a new one this year. But I love spaghetti squash. So, but you can see they are growing quite well. Winter squash tend to grow pretty fast and pretty hardy. So I am seeing that one back there isn't looking so healthy. I have been doing diatomaceous earth and that BT spray to try to keep the boar vine beetles away, but it only does so much. That plant is not looking so great. And you have to catch it really, really early and as quick as possible. There's another big honkin' butternut squash. And then, let me see. I'm trying to think if the spaghetti squash are doing well enough. There's a little baby spaghetti squash, like little baby spaghetti squash. But I know I've got some bigger ones in here somewhere. But yeah, everything's doing pretty well. Not bad. We have been getting cucumbers, green beans, zucchini. Excuse me. Sorry about the loud goose in the background. He is a loudmouth. I think that's everything that we've gotten so far. And like I said, we should be getting tomatoes soon. There's a bee on that flower now. Let's see if I can see it. Oh, there he goes. He just flew off. So yeah. We've been getting stuff. Ugh. The weeds. I just keep looking at the weeds. I know. It's okay. Last year, this end of the garden, I was sick last year. I was quite unwell. I have for 7-ish years now dealt with adrenal fatigue. I run myself down. I run myself ragged, and then I pay for it. And, you know, babies and pregnancy and all that. But last year I had I tanked again in like February. We had a very, very stressful situation with a grandparent passing away, my husband's, and the whole situation it kind of threw me over the edge. And so gardening last year was interesting. And so this end of the garden, like literally from like here down, there were 7-foot tall weeds. I had my tomatoes down there. I got almost no tomatoes. Because I couldn't, you know, and I was picking and choosing my battles because we tend to get a decent amount of tomato products from the food bank in the form of like, canned tomatoes, salsas, pasta sauce, those kind of things. But green beans, like fresh green beans, having fresh cucumbers, those kind of things were the things that I was a little bit more focused on getting out. The things that we don't get as much from the food bank or are more expensive to buy from the grocery store. That's why I grow peppers. I don't grow potatoes because potatoes are cheap to buy. I generally don't grow a whole lot of carrots. The kids like growing them for fun, so that's why I can see doing one of those beds. But when it comes to the things that I grow, I generally try to grow the things that are expensive for me to buy. So like I said, potatoes, I can buy a 20-pound bag of potatoes for next to nothing. But green beans and peppers, my God, peppers are so expensive. My goodness, sorry. Peppers are so expensive. So usually it's like a 3-pack of them for $5. So to grow those and be able to freeze those is worth my time and my, you know, the work into it. So that's generally how I view it on right now, is trying to grow the things that are expensive or the things that we prefer the flavor of homegrown. So for like fresh tomatoes, I want those homegrown because they just taste so much better. That is the goose. Hang on. Ready? Ready? This is Toulouse the Goose. He's a loudmouth, but he's doing his job. We got a goose as a guard animal to guard our chickens because we were having hawk attacks. And geese have better eyesight than chickens do, so they can see hawks coming sooner, and then they may even sometimes like attack the goose, or attack the hawk if they see it as a big enough threat. So he's a loudmouth. He hisses at us. He has never once like bit any of us or attacked any of us. He knows that we're the boss. But he likes to voice his things. And then the other fun one is a guinea that we think was dropped off at our house by someone because it just showed up one day and we were able to catch it and get it in the fence. But there are no farms around us that raise guinea fowl or have any guinea that it could have escaped from them and come to our house. So yeah, we have a guinea now. We have asked around to make sure that it didn't belong to anybody, but so far nobody has said anything. So this is, I guess I should say this is where we keep our chickens, and we are having them take this down to the ground slowly. They've got some areas where they've worked it up really well, but these areas that have like the thick crabgrass, they're having a harder time with. We will probably end up coming out and doing something like tilling it or something to help them along. So that we can double the size of our garden next year is the plan. So that I have room to plant. I would love to have like dried beans, peas, more corn, you know, I would love to play around with growing some other things and seeing how it goes. So, plus I have 3 teenage boys in within 10 years from now. So, yeah. And then in the background, I'll show you real quick. This is our weeping willow, and she is our namesake for our homestead. And I have loved her since we moved in. She's gorgeous. Beautiful. So, yeah. All right. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope that maybe you found something informative. Let me know what you're growing this year. Are you growing anything new that you haven't grown before? Like, I'm growing spaghetti squash for the first time. Is there anything that you would like to know more about growing? Let me know, and I will see if I can point you towards some good resources. I will say MI Gardener, like capital M, capital I, it's Michigan. MI Gardener here on YouTube is an excellent resource for if you are in the Midwest area, for information on growing pretty much everything. He has a growing guide for. Plus, he sells seeds at a really great price, and I have always, always, always had great success with his seeds. So, there's our crazy hens. A little bit of everything. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Goodbye, and God bless.